Ladies and gentlemen, season 2! Episode... Is it like 1 or something?
2.
Yeah. Does the first one
2.
count?
First one counts. First one
Cool.
counts.
Episode
It's a bit of an intro.
2! Like an Island Project, main man, can't believe he's sitting next to us. The one and only Nico Diguiny. Introduce yourself, mate.
So I'm the second, I'm not the first, huh?
No, the first was us.
We had an
What
intro
you mean?
between us.
Yeah. It's our podcast.
That's fine. It's okay
Thank
for
you.
me.
We thank you for allowing us to be the first people on the show. All right, so we're really excited for you to be here. Very excited, and it's just a little chill conversation just to find out who Nico is. Can I call you Nico? Is that how you pronounce your name?
Nico, perfect.
Nico.
Nicolas Diguiny, but
Nicholas, yeah.
Nico, of course.
Was it Nicholas or Nicola?
Nicolas, but it's way
Nicola.
too long.
Nicola.
It's way
Nicholas.
too long.
Is it Diguiny? Am I saying it correctly?
Yes.
How do you pronounce it?
Diguiny, that's it.
Diguiny, that's good.
Nice. That's wicked.
So is that French origin?
Not that simple, huh?
No.
The origin is a little complicated because originally it's about African
Okay.
name. You know, my grandfather is from Ivory Coast.
Nice. We were discussing where you were from, and one of us said Ivory Coast. What did you say?
On Wikipedia it said Ivory Coast.
Yes.
That you have a descendant.
Exactly,
yeah.
exactly. It's my grandfather, yeah. The father of my father, actually.
Was his name Nico?
No.
Oh.
No.
Because my grandfather was Alcibiades and his grandfather.
No. My
was
second name is about this, you know, because I'm Nicolas Jean-Pierre Diguiny.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
This is supposed to stay between us, but now it's done. Huh?
Jean-Pierre, yeah?
Yeah, Jean-Pierre.
Shit.
It's about that, you know.
That's sick.
One grandfather was Jean, the other one was Pierre, so they make Jean-Pierre.
I didn't know this. I will never let you forget this.
Yeah. I try to forget it, but it's okay.
Ivory Coast.
The reason is okay for me.
You've ever been to Ivory Coast?
I've been, yes, once, about 9 years ago, maybe. Try to go again, but it's not that easy with football holidays because it's not a good season to go there.
Oh yeah, you're a footballer, innit?
Sometimes I do football, and when I don't, I try to go holidays. And there, it's better to go in winter here. You know, it's January, December, all this is stop in Ivory Coast for the moment. Because if I go now, for example, in June, it's the raining season, and when it's raining, then it's very heavy, and it's serious rain. It's not the same. But okay, anyway, I've been once. I try to go again. This summer will be complicated. I hope next summer I can go. So that's it. It's Diguiny is from my grandfather, yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So you're half Ivory Coast and half French?
Not exactly half because it's my father that is half. Because my grandmother...
So you're like 1/4?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is how we say. We say carteron in French.
Carteron.
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 Like about quarter.
Carteron.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you grew up in France.
French culture, okay. Totally French, you know.
And
okay, I have the double culture because, of course, from my father we have a little.
So you have that influence.
That's the influence, more influence exactly than the double culture, small influence, but raised in France and like a French and everything that goes with it.
And which part of France were you raised in, and did you live?
I'm raised in a suburb of Paris. And
Suburb?
Suburb?
Yeah.
Suburb? You say suburb?
Suburb of Paris, did you say?
Yeah, okay. Around Paris, I would say, because my English is not that good. It's true. It's good that you notice it.
He's like, make sure you speak like so I can understand. So I had to do it. Sorry.
Yeah, it's good. Perfect. I will give you back soon. But yes, around Paris, yeah. And when I was about 11 years old, we moved to Nantes. And then until I moved for football, I grew up in Nantes until I was an adult, let's say.
What did Wikipedia say? He grew up where?
Saint-Germain.
Saint-Germain.
That's where I born.
That's where you were born. So you weren't living there?
No, I was living in the city next to it because the hospital was in Saint-Germain. But I was living in Acher. Called Acher.
Does that have anything to do with Paris Saint-Germain?
Saint-Germain, yes.
It's the same area?
The training center of Paris Saint-Germain is in Saint-Germain. And historically, if I'm not wrong, start about fusion with Paris and Saint-Germain, you know, to create this club back then.
1970, I think.
70, exactly.
Yeah. Like Vegeta and Goku.
Yeah, they make the same. That's why Paris is a great team. You know, it's like the best. They make fusion, and so yeah, I was living very close to the training center of Paris Saint-Germain.
Okay.
So is it like every young boy's dream to play for Paris Saint-Germain if they are born in Paris? Is that the dream?
Yes.
For sure.
I think more now than before,
Mm.
but of course for us, that especially us, that we were in this area that is close to Saint-Germain, it was a big thing to play for Paris. Even though in France, in Paris, there is a big youth academy named Clairefontaine. This is like
That's where the national
exactly where
players,
the national it's where the national team goes to meet each other before the game of the national team of France.
Nice.
And at the same place, it's the main youth academy, if I can call it like this, from 12 to 14, if I'm not wrong, because it's just the pre-academy there, but it's the best in France.
Okay.
The best in Paris. So also, and so this is the let's say the gold for people that grew up there. But then now it's Paris Saint-Germain also that
has a name.
Yeah, that has a name, but it's also let's say the second best academy in this area.
One thing I want to maybe start off with is I think a lot of people see football players when they get to a certain level. And obviously there's a lot of background before you get to a certain level. So my question is for everyone watching this, young boys and girls who want to aspire to be a football player, a professional standards. How difficult is the struggle? I mean, I know it's an open-ended question.
It's a very open one.
Very open-ended
I
question,
don't know
right?
what you speak about now. No, I mean, you mean in the process or when you're out there, or because
I mean, it's
like the beginnings, like how you started.
It's like being an actor in Hollywood. Is it that level of difficulty?
And you got to where you are today, basically.
like from a kid or from where I start to be a senior, like professional.
From a kid, like what made you want to be a footballer?
Like did someone give you a football and you just fell in love with it, or?
No, I think for as a kid I don't even remember because it's always been natural.
It was a long time ago.
No, 2-3 years ago, bro, 26 years old, so it's not 10 years ago. So no, honestly, it's not that I don't remember because of a long time ago. I don't remember because it was natural. There where I was living, everybody goes out and play football. So naturally, if you're good at it, you play football, and then suddenly you play in a good team. And then after 2-3 years, it's getting serious, let's say, because I start to play in my city. And after 2 years, I start to play. And after 2 years, after 1 year or 2, I don't even remember, I start to play for Paris Saint-Germain at 8 years old, if I remember good. From 8 to...
That's young, man. That is young, 8 years old.
Everybody's playing football at 8 years old. Now the kids start at 4.
That's
so
crazy, man. You see
Was it a lot of pressure? Like at 8 years old, did they push you?
No. Back then, it's maybe today they have a lot of pressure because they have. We know everything with social media, with internet and all this. We know everything about football, so we know that very young now people they get contract. At some time at 12 years old they had already some branding contract and all this. Now back then it was not like this. It was really you play in a good team, it's nice, but there were not this pressure. And also, let's say maybe the pressure start at 12. But when you are 7, 8, 9, it's really like more like still like pleasure. You know that you play for a nice team that the kids they want to play, but there's no pressure. Yeah, it's more fun. It's nice. You enjoy it. You play in PSG, but
what age does it stop from being a hobby to actually a career? Because if you're at school, you're still at school at like 13, 14. Who makes the decision for you to stop studying, or do you still study while playing football? So I can't imagine.
I think it's different from everyone because some people they go to academy and some not. First of all, so if you start to go to academy, at some academies start at 12, 13. Then if you go to academy, start to be from first second is serious because every day you play football. You have maybe some academy they reduce your amount of hours of school per day to have time to make football every day. They adapt with school, so already it's serious. In a way, it's like from this age you think about it. From 12, 13, 14.
Pre-programmed, huh?
It's like this. It's like in French we call it préformation. Back then we call it préformation when between 12 to 12, 13 years old, like préformation. And then when you reach like 14, 15, like when you have the age to be like how we call this in English, like we say lycée, like to go college.
College,
yeah. Then you go to formation. It's like then it's real academy. It's even another
like academy for football.
Yeah, total academy. But if you're in age to go to this youth academy at 12 serious, it became serious straight away. It's like there is competition. There is some kids that are totally focused and they are like, you know.
And then you're basically playing in like the U15s or the U16s of the club, the under 15s.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the official team of the academy at that point. And then do they choose you? So like,
they choose you.
Like,
it's not you don't choose to be. That's why it was part of your question. It's
so you to stay in as well. To stay in the academy, you have to be
exactly.
Yeah.
For example, I was when I was not was 11, 12, 13, and at 13, some people was already in this pre-academy, let's say, and at the age to go to the academy, every year they keep some players. Every year they put them out.
Yeah.
So at the age of 12 in France, at my time, they make a big, how to call this? Cleaning? Not cleaning,
like
but
clear out.
clear,
Yeah.
They clear a lot of players because until 12, there is like 5-6 teams per age.
Yeah.
After 12, it's 2 teams per age, the A and the B. So already they put a lot of players out, you know? And then there is some player that they want to put in the academy, that they will invest in them. Some player that they are not sure, they keep them a little. And then when it's age like 14, it's like, you know,
Cutthroat, make or break.
Exactly.
I mean, that must have a really big impact on your mental health.
Yeah, it's not
I mean,
easy.
if you're working from the age of 8 till 14 and that's all you know, and then eventually someone comes and says you're not good enough, then is there other options where you can go into and still be part of the football world? Because, I mean, if that's a cutthroat business at 14, imagine when you get older. So how do you control your mental health in regards of where you are, what you do? Because that comes into account with your injuries. That comes into account of eventually there's a certain age that you can reach to. And afterwards, are you considered, you know, safe?
Look, it's the first thing is that this time when they don't keep you, because it happened to me at 13, the age to pass from 13 to 14, they didn't keep me. You know, that age was very, was very physical football back then, and they didn't trust all the players that was not yet developed physically. You know, it was like they don't have time. Some they are developed, some no. They are as good. We take the one that is we know it will be strong later. You know, it was like this. So there is two ways. Some when they are not when they don't keep them in the academy. Some they go totally to amateur football and they are like, okay, they already choose like, okay, I will study normal and it's okay for me, you know. Some it's more difficult to accept, and some they believe there is still a way. You know, it's not only one football. This is what is good about football. There is not only one team. One team don't keep you. Maybe you go to the other one. It's okay.
For sure.
But like you mentioned the growth, let's say like you're, I don't know, 12, 13, 14. Like for example, me, I was very small. I was the smallest in general in my year until like 16, 17. And then one summer I grew.
Yeah,
so
exactly the same.
Obviously, yes, with footballers, obviously you're 13, 14, you're small.
Yeah.
And then they don't take you on to the next level. I mean, you can miss out on some big players. As an academy, have they changed that way of thinking now, or they still?
This is the unfair part of it because they cannot read the future, you know. So sometimes they make some choice that they have to take choice also.
Yeah.
And it's not easy for them, but it's not easy for the player because sometimes it's not that you are not good enough; it's that you don't fit their
vision
criteria, their vision.
Yeah. Criteria.
You don't fit it. That's it. And it was the same for me. Back then, I was the smallest or the second smallest of the team. Then between 15, 16, I took 30 centimeters in 2 years. Yeah. And I became, okay, like I can play with adults now. But then it's too late. But like you said, they changed a little the mentality, especially I think after the Spanish era, you know, because after that came all this Spanish era.
Yeah, they were tiny.
Tiki-taka, small players that they still destroy everybody without physical, without athletic norms.
Okay, now you said Spanish player, Ronaldo or Messi? Ronaldo or Messi?
No, I speak about Tiki-taka Barcelona. I speak
I'm
about
just saying
Xavi,
to you, Ronaldo or Messi?
Ronaldo is a very tall guy. He's not.
Okay, so like, no, what I mean is, are you a Ronaldo fan or a Messi fan? Who do you think's better?
I'm not fan neither of. No, I mean,
you're Zidane fan.
I like them both, but I was also when I was in age to be fun, I was like Ronaldinho, this kind of players.
Yeah. Zidane, Thierry Henry.
Henry, I was, Henry, Bergkamp, Ronaldinho, this kind of player I love to see. You know, I was fan of PSG, so I like to see Okocha, this kind of player, But after Ronaldinho, Messi, they came, I was already an adult also, so I like them, I admire them, but I was not a fan of them. I was not like fun, While when I was looking at Ronaldinho on TV, I was like more, wow, because I was younger also, it's different.
So would you say that was your biggest inspiration? Do you have any
Ronaldinho,
yeah. Do you have any family in football? Like
I had an uncle that play professional in France, in little in first and second division.
Do you think that was a motivational thing for you? Did you look up to that?
I didn't see him play, so no, because
So no.
I didn't catch him play, So it was not really a motivation for me. It was just I liked it, I liked football from young. I played to Paris Saint-Germain. I loved it. I was good enough at it. You go to the stadium after, with the players, you take the hand, you go inside with them in the stadium, you go to watch games, because you're part of the club, so it's easier for you.
Yeah.
And you like it. It's nice, Then you like it more and more and more, and basically it's become natural that you want to be a professional football player.
I guess those moments also, they get you ready for the big crowds. So you're used to walking out and seeing like 30,000 people.
I think it's just for you to enjoy the moment,
but
with kid eyes,
No, but like let's say, people like us,
you mean like the pressure?
we've never been on stage before, like in front of 30,000 people, and then you suddenly get thrown into the pitch and you have to play in front of 30,000 people, 40,000 people.
Whereas if you're from a young age, you don't learn it. I think when it comes. But
yeah.
At what age did you then get your first professional contract?
20.
20 years old.
Sorry.
Just some technical difficulties. Okay, so this is our background crew. Just to let you know, Nico, we stepped up the game. We stepped up the game from last year. Last year was a bit budgeted. This time we've got professional cameras. We've got information as well.
Very professional.
So we can get some feedback, and if we have any facts, they let us know. So if you chat shit, we know. We stopped the podcast because you were having a bit of a choke moment?
That's not true. That's not true.
You're okay now?
I'm good. Thank you. I'm good.
I don't even remember what we were saying.
You signed your first contract at 20 years old.
20 years old.
20 years old, yes. So like you said before, you spoke about they keep you, they don't keep you, how you handle it and all this. After in the Academy of Nantes, they didn't keep me. I went in the second team in the area. That was a good level and good enough. And I continued to play there 3 years. Then I left to another one. I make some trial, here and there, close to signing Rennes. Didn't do it. After I went to another team called Van. And in this team, I signed professional about 3 years after I went there at 17 years old. And at 20, I signed professional because we were playing in third division. And we finished first. So we
promoted to
second division. And at this moment, I signed my first contract professional.
Explain to us in a couple of words how that felt. Like all these years and you've managed to... when you signed that dotted line, did you realize like it was all worth it once you put that signature down?
Yes, of course.
Sure.
You feel that it was worth it, but I don't know. I've always been a little realistic, per se. And you sign professional contract in a small team in second division, low budget, this, that. It's not what people think it is. So I was happy, but for me it was let's say the start of of new chance,
opportunities.
Yeah,
perfect.
A new opportunity, like you said, and more this than just an accomplishment. I was not feeling like
you're done, settled.
Of course not.
Like you're like okay, now it starts.
Of course not. Yes.
So now it's like the first step.
Exactly, it was the first step, and from here I can build. I can have a new chance. I can maybe, have some door open in front of me if I work good enough.
Just a question before we get into the teams that you played for and the career. What was it like for your family and your friends and the people around you throughout this whole journey? Because obviously it was a big toll on you to work through these years. Like your parents or your siblings or your friends, did it affect them in a way? Or did you, obviously you need your support circle, I think, in anything you do in life, but especially in something like sports in
it affects
football.
them. It affects them a lot because, first of all, the parents they sacrifice for you in many ways. In time that they spend with you, send you to football, drive you here, drive you there. In money, because for example, okay, football is cheap, but when I changed team, I was 1 hour away from Nantes.
Okay.
So, sorry, I had to stay in one place. I think I will not get rid of this.
It's funny because he could do it the other direction, but he chooses to cough right at me.
Because that's what you deserve. That's what you deserve.
It's because the other side is his t-shirt. Man.
Of course, how I can do that? And there is Boo.
He's just like,
I don't know how this guy.
it's cool,
will
man. I
react
love you
to
too,
it,
man. It's fine.
This
It's
guy
fine.
is dangerous. So yeah, they spend time, they spend money because I was saying that I had to stay in one place. They had to spend money because at this age you don't make money at 17 years old. They had to spend money for you to stay in one place. This, that, and they help you. They come to see you, and they try their best for you. So for them, for sure, it's first of all happiness, and not they put hope, but they want to see you happy. You know, they want to see you succeed. So this is the main things that happen when you sign first professional contract. There is the friends, everybody's happy for you, of course, but
You put the work in it, man.
yeah, you put the work in it. But football, everybody tries to be a football player, so there is some
That's
also
what I mean.
that
I wanted to be a footballer when I was a kid.
Like that's what I mean. It is. I think people don't understand just how difficult it is to get to even a semi-professional level. It's like I think it's the same as like being an actor in Hollywood. The chances are very, very low now. Like you said, but the good thing is there's always not just one country, not just one league of football. There is a lot more that you can get into. So, but I think instead of aspiring to get that $1 million contract a month or whatever you say, it is just about passion and playing and doing what you love.
exactly.
You like a lot of people might think that you have the best job in the world, but they don't know what happens behind the scenes, the hours, the training, the drainage, like all these things. I think that is an important thing to touch up on, because a lot of people just see what they see in those 90 minutes, judge you on a 90-minute basis, and then it's like everything else has been forgotten.
Like the average football fan will say, "Oh, it's all right. They can just they have warm water at home to have a shower. Why don't they play well this game?" You know, they have this complaint. It's like a standard.
He gets paid this much and he doesn't do this. Like, well, you know, how much does LeBron get paid and he still fucking misses free throws?
Yeah,
You can't always get it in. Shout out LeBron.
I think also people that are frustrated because not all, of course, it's normal. They support one team that's disappointing this, that, but some other they're frustrated because they could not do it. You know, and when they go to play with their friend after they score this goal and they believe it's the same in the game, and they believe everything goes the same speed with the same pressure with the same. No, everything is different. Everything is different. Every control has different impact. Totally different. But there's also this part, the people that are frustrated because I have also many friends that they had good talent, good level, and they didn't get to be. And you feel also this side. You feel also this side that he was lucky that this, you know, I could have been me.
There's definitely luck involved.
There is of course luck.
Right
involved.
place, right time, right scout. You might be an average player, play an amazing game. Scout sees you, bang.
But especially back then, because back then was not like a YouTube why scout this that. If the scout don't come to see you this day, that game that you play good, and the time that he will come back to see you, maybe in 1 month, if you don't play good again, this game, that, it's difficult.
It's face value. I think now everyone's got an Instagram. They can promote themselves. Videos.
I don't think people choose with players with Instagram.
No,
of course
fair
not. But like you said, you put video on YouTube already. It's publicity.
Yeah.
You go on Wisecout, you have your highlights. You go here, there. It's very easy for somebody to see you on the other side of the world. Before, woof.
So, like, would you recommend any of this to upcoming football players?
Tell me again?
Would you recommend like these things to upcoming football players? What would they do
to develop their
to get exposure?
Of course, it's important, I think. But as a young player, as when you are still in under 18, 19, this age, yes, it's important. But after, you don't need it anymore because, like I said, there is these platforms that all your highlight, every time you touch the ball, it's already online. Because all the games, they are filmed and they put your name. And they put your name and you see all the highlights of this player. This day it was at this time, this hour. They know everything. You know, they can
do
see.
know everything.
Yeah.
I think Okay, because you touched on that, let's go a little bit in. Should we talk about teams, or just want? I'm feeling a little social media thing right now.
Yeah, well, I was going to ask about, like, do you have an agent that manages these things? Like, let's say when you first signed your
media? No.
But on the management thing, so
do you
would
care about social media? You're not really on social media, are you?
I have social media, but I put more things to not to please the people, but when you have some nice moment, you put them. Also, when you live abroad, it's nice because all the friend, the family that they are out, you put something, they see,
Okay,
they see the news about you. They see it's nice for this also.
for sure.
But I don't have at my level. Let's say I don't have somebody to manage it. It's nothing difficult, I think.
But like when you signed your first contract at the age of 20, obviously it's a whole new world for you. So at that point with the contract, you have like young players. No, but young players. You have a football agent with you. Is it with your father? How does that work when you sign your contract? Because obviously you're alone. It's a whole new process.
Also back then this was much more controlled, and it was really real agent that take players and all this. Now anybody can be agent now. No, really. Now you can come and be my representative, my legal advisor, whatever, and you can come and sign a contract with me. Before you had to, it was like you have your license of agent, and if you don't have your license, you cannot do that. So I think maybe 1 year before I signed professional, I start to work with someone. Then we signed first contract together.
Yeah. Okay.
But of course, for example, when I met him the first time, it was like here, and my father was here, my mother was here. We met him.
Yeah.
Nice.
So you first back then you start to you give more at my level once again, because I was not in the academy of Monaco or some fancy academy that you have serious agent that come to you, not serious but famous agent. So it was more about to find someone that really want to make you grow and bring you somewhere, that you can trust.
That actually wants what's best for you, not thinking about their pocket.
Exactly. He will take his part, but that try to bring you in a good way where you're supposed to go, not just somebody that is famous, is good agent, he can bring you this, you sign with him, and in 1 year.
Because he has connections and this, yeah.
So it was more about the person, so we were here meeting the guy, see how is he, and then we work together like this.
Yeah. Awesome, okay. So, I mean, your first, was it 6-7 years you were with your first club?
Yes, 6 years, I think.
And how was that? Were you
6 years with 5 as professional?
Okay. And your position when you first started, was it the same as it is today? Because sometimes the footballers may change from the wing to the attack to as a striker.
I always change a lot position, from right, left, middle, number 10, second striker. But recently I play more in front. Mm-hmm. This is very recent. It's like since I played little this position in Aris, Thessaloniki, and now in Apollon.
Hey.
You were waiting this from the start.
Sure. I was like, wait, it's been 31 minutes. He hasn't mentioned it. I'm dying.
Let me try it. Apollon.
Hey.
You can make a song. Apollon. Hey. Yeah, so in Apollon I start slowly after a few months that I came, change coach and all this, and I start to play more in front as a striker. Last year when I came back, I didn't play so much as a striker with the coach. When we won the championship, I was more.
See how you just striker. Threw that in there. Oh, last year when we won the championship. Smooth. We'll get on that later.
And then, so always I change position. Depend the coach.
Yeah. Okay. These bubbles.
Good idea to get this tea, man. Is it like a little halftime break? You got to change batteries? All right, cool. So from that team, then you went to Aris. And how many Aris? No. Was there a gap between? I didn't do my research.
So between this first team, I played in another team in France 1 year. And then I signed in Pantrakikos in Greece.
What?
Pantrakikos.
No, you want my dad? Pantrakikos.
Pantrakikos.
Pantrakikos. What's this?
Okay, now I understand it's because of you.
Nothing, man.
Oh, bro.
Pantrakikos. I never heard of that in my life. What division? First division
in Greece.
Really?
Yeah, bro.
I don't really know much about football in Greece. I'm not gonna lie.
And
I mean, I'm here for I'm just here to be here. This guy knows a bit more about football than me.
and after Atromitos, 2 years, and then Aris Thessaloniki, 2
Okay.
years.
How many fans is Aris Stadium?
The capacity is 22, I think, 22,000.
The atmosphere is crazy though, no?
Great.
Yeah.
Do you think it's the best atmosphere that you've ever played in? Was Greece?
Okay, we had some nice game here also, especially when we won championship. We had some.
Hey. That's the last time. It's the last time. That's the last time. Don't look at me.
But
We have to pause there.
yeah,
Cut.
Go.
We're back. I don't know if you know we're back because maybe they were going to edit it so it doesn't look like we had a break. But I guess they can't really do it now.
We had a halftime talk.
Little halftime break sponsored by no one. So if you want to be a sponsor, hit us up, man. We're looking for them sponsors. What?
991.
My number?
Yeah.
Don't
Should
put
I say it?
don't put my number online. What is wrong with you? Going back to our discussion, I think we left off at the atmosphere. So atmosphere of Adi, what you know, when you're playing football and you hear like 20,000 people screaming, can you actually hear them? Is that a weird thing to ask?
It's a good question.
Thank you.
A very good question. First
Thank you.
time come from you. Most of the time you ask me the question.
Jesus.
But yeah, it's a good question because most of the time you don't hear because you're
Weird,
so
right?
focused in your game that you don't listen. But
So when I'm screaming at you, pass! You don't listen. That's why he doesn't pass.
no, but actually when there is some like a corner, a foul, and this moment that the game stopped for 20 seconds, then you listen very good. And when it's a nice time, nice moment, it's amazing. And this one, you know, because as a kid I always been little. Let's say with Paris, you know, I was very emotional, passionate, and I like to go in the stadium and all this to see this. I always since a kid, so and I always play in team with very little fun, like not big amount, not big atmosphere. So when I signed in Aris, was a big difference for me and for my experience as football player. And like you said, to get used to the crowd, you spoke about it before. For me, it was like not the first time because I play against team with this kind of atmosphere when I was playing against Olympiacos, Panathinaikos, whatever. But not when I am the players from this team, you know. So it's totally different feeling and different pressure on it also. And so it was the first time for me in Aris, and it was a great experience, amazing atmosphere. Not every day, of course. I have to be also realist and honest because sometimes was hard time and losing games and winter because Thessaloniki sometimes it's less 5 degrees and people it's difficult to come to the stadium.
Yeah.
But on the other part, when it was great games, it's something you cannot forget. It's memories that stays. That's why you say also you play football for. I always wanted to play in this kind of atmosphere, and it was part of my choice to go in Aris also because I wanted to feel this. Not only football step, not only contract. I wanted to feel this. And I was very happy that I found something like this.
Because being a fan, we genuinely believe that if we sing louder,
You're going to play better.
yeah.
Look, it's there is for me there is importance. It put first of all a great atmosphere, a good motivation for the player because sometimes you don't listen, because you're too focused, but
You can see
the
it
10 seconds after you know when there is a throw in and you see everybody's jumping behind, you see it. The 10 seconds after that's playing, you forget. You totally forget about it. 20 seconds, 30 seconds that you totally forget from my experience. And then the ball stop again, free kick, penalty, whatever, you know, with the crowd jumping like crazy and all this. Then you feel it and it's motivated.
So it makes a difference to your...
Of course.
For sure.
When sometimes you were like totally dead in the game, you make 2, 3, 4 sprints, you come back, you're dead. And the ball, you see that it's here. And everybody is like, you stand up and you know, while maybe you will have stayed like a zombie, you know. And for me, it gives you this extra power.
Amazing.
When you need it.
That's good to know because otherwise we wasted about 20 years of our lives.
But it gives also the extra pressure.
Well,
I guess it also works the other way around, though, right?
Like
Exactly.
if it's an away game and you've got 28,000 people screaming negatively at you, swearing at you, whatever.
No, this.
How does that? How do you
but
feel when that?
I don't feel it this way. I feel it's helped the opponent because it pushed them. So we, I think, act the same.
But
but
sometimes
then-
they can be abusive. You know, they
Yeah,
can.
okay.
Does
But I
that?
think-
Does that get to you? Did it ever get to you?
Not really. I think
90
it
minutes,
motivates
someone
you.
shouting about
I
your
think
mum.
I think you want to say, okay, wait a little. I will make you calm down because we will score. We will beat you. You know, it's not so much.
Gives you different motivation.
Yeah, different motivation. But the team that play home, they have this support. They are, if they are 100%, they will be, let's say, 110. You know, and so it helped them more than put us down. It helped them more. You know what I mean? It's not pushing us down. It's just helping them more. It's what I feel.
Have you had like personal, like, you know, what's the word? Not attack, but have you heard things about you like through crowds?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so I mean, how do you handle that? Like 90 minutes, all you hear about is your mum.
No. It's
You just want to run into the pitch. Like, what would you do?
sometimes you just laugh at it if you have time to laugh at it. Because sometimes maybe you're making warm up, you listen, or sometimes you go to pick up one ball and then you have 1 second after you forget it.
Fair enough.
It's part of it, you know. It's you know that it will happen and it's happened. And
You don't let it
finish.
affect you.
Yeah, if not, every time you listen to something, you turn and you say what? And you speak with the Alkis. What? You? Wait, I will come and I will cut your hair.
That's happened many a times. Like, because the funny thing is, I was speaking to like Gomodigi, is a friend of mine who's also playing football for Zagaji now, and he goes to me, we were playing against some team, I won't mention the name, and there was like 3 people screaming like Amodimasu, and he's like, the first time in my life I've ever heard someone for like 90 minutes scream fuck your mum, like, and he's like, I'd never felt that before and it was horrible. But like, again, the second game, it was like nothing happened. So it is about, you know, understanding it comes with the sport as well as everything else.
They try to disturb you and they will not disturb you by saying so they want to say something to get into.
So it doesn't matter what they say, just don't let it get in your head.
Just say something, okay.
And I guess that makes a difference between a great player or a great team that they can perform on a away game that is very hostile and not just play good at home.
You have to stay calm, you have to handle the pressure, you have to but it's you learn it also, huh? Maybe the first time you don't act the same than when you did it 2-3 years, it's way easier to handle it.
What's the first time you saw a kid wearing your t-shirt? Were you like your name? Like, imagine seeing a little kid. That's my name.
I don't know if my first team, because I've gave some shot, but more to family because back then we didn't have too much shirt. So
I got one.
You're a lucky guy.
I know.
And I think first time maybe Aris. Huh?
Nice. Must be quite a feeling.
Yeah. Okay, it's nicer to see the kids happy to see you, to be happy to come and shake your hand, to be happy to just have you see them, they are really happy, because they want maybe to be football player later. This is the nice feeling, not to have my shirt on the, this is not the
What a nice guy. Look how humble he is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Inside he's like, yeah, it's fucking I like that. Before he went to the toilet, he's like, man, he's such a nice guy, down to earth. I'm like, yeah, you don't really know him. Jerk. Stop coughing at me. So then,
what are we doing toilet together?
moving on. Moving on. So, what was the transition from Greece to Cyprus? How did that happen?
It's happened because at the end in Aris was not the best hand without age, and the last 5-6 months.
Or end?
That's why I say without age. End.
So it wasn't the best end?
Yeah, it was not the nicest one. And I had some, let's say, we didn't agree on some point in the winter. And then the last 4 or 5 months, I was not in the plans anymore. So just my agent started talking with some other team that could be interested.
Sorry? Can we make an edit reel of just him coughing? Just the whole,
It's water time.
just 10 minutes.
I think you have 10 minutes easy. Maybe you have 10 minutes.
Look how small his cup of water is.
Maybe that's why.
Can
That's
we
the
get him some
problem.
more water, please?
Oh, good. Yeah, so
So Cyprus.
Cyprus, yes, it came naturally. They were interesting in my profile. Speaking with my manager, find agreement, and I've heard about them that they were playing also in Europe often. So I was interested to come. I didn't think twice, to be honest.
Did you hear about Apollon before you came?
I've heard, and I had a contact before Aris. Oh, that's nice. Thank you very much. It's very needed.
Next time we'll get a bigger cup.
Yeah. And to be honest, yes, I had some contact with Apollon. One time I had a discussion with one guy that was working for Apollon before I signed in Aris, when I was still in Atromitos. But I wanted to make a next step in Greece. And also I had a good name in Greece. I was happy in Greece, so I didn't want to leave back then. And then when this happened in Aris, I don't know, it was a little natural. It was very natural. I wanted to continue to have the chance to maybe play Europe and all this. And I knew that, okay, I knew some people that played in Cyprus before. I asked, of course, this, that, about them, you know, like every football player do. And so I had my information and I said, okay, it's fine for me. Let's try it, and that's it.
I had some inside information that the first time you came here, you went to Napa.
The first time I came here? Yeah. But this was long time ago. long time ago. I came on holiday here with two friends.
I mean, it can't be that long, man. You said you're 26.
Yeah. I was maybe 19 then. To 18.
I've seen pictures of you in Napa.
No chance.
I have. Courtesy of your friend.
It's possible.
I remember I was cutting one of his friends, his best man, and he's telling me, "Oh, I've got friends coming over from France. They're gonna play football." I'm like, "Oh yeah." So dude, they're gonna play football. He's like, "I'm like, holy shit." Yo, bring him to get a haircut.
This is what you said. Huh? You didn't care if I play good or not. Huh?
No, I don't care if you play good or not. Just happened to win.
You just
But,
use me.
Uh-huh.
You just use me.
For sure. It's all coming out in the open now. Cut. So yeah, like, okay, let's talk a little bit about Ballon. And to be welcomed in a team, does that take how do I hold on. Wait. Okay. Starting again from now. So to be in a, did you accepted by a team? Do you have to like earn your stripes? Do you feel like when you enter the new team, it's like entering a new classroom? You don't really know anyone.
Yeah, it's exactly like this, especially for a player that is not famous. Okay, if you have famous name, come here tomorrow and they has big name and all this, everybody, of course, it's already know that this guy is here. He has nothing to prove. But if you're not, then it's always like this. Wherever I've been, it's always like this. I came to Greece when I came to Greece, I was not anymore in second division in France. I was in third division. So I came to Greece and without name. So people, they were like, what, who is this guy? And then you have to prove, you have to win.
Yeah, but you had a name from Greece when you came to Cyprus.
Yeah, but I was not playing in, I was not a star in Olympiacos, I had a good name. I make my years in Greece. I had some good years in Patrokikos, in Atromitos. I make good job in Greece. And but for the players of Apollon, let's say you don't see yourself, you don't see yourself under Aris or whatever, you believe you're the same level. So whoever comes, he has to prove himself.
Definitely. So you feel like you do start from scratch. You start from the beginning again.
Okay, not from scratch. They probably knew that I could play good, but that's it. That's the only thing they know.
Then you just prove yourself.
And then you start to play. After preseason, you have this and that, and okay. It comes naturally, okay, if you start to think too much or so, you come there, you play, you sign a contract, you will have to play anyway. So do your best and we'll see what's happened.
Do your best.
But of course, you need to not only prove yourself, you need to, how to say this in English, I don't know. I will say like you put yourself there, like not, in French we say s'imposer. I don't know how to say, like you take the place, you know.
Some per se, everyone.
Yeah, it's not just you accept me. No, I come and I'm here. Again,
You stand your ground.
yeah, exactly. This is what I want to say. You come here and this
You earn the position.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not only I wait for you to give me, I go and I take it.
Mhm.
So you have to accept it. You know, this is like this. If you want and you wait people to give you, who will give
You
you
get
something?
nothing if you wait.
There is
for it.
other players that want the same place. They will not say, "Oh, you're a good player, take mine." No, it's not like this.
You got to earn it.
What were your first impressions of the Cyprus League, and also the life in Cyprus, coming from obviously from France, from Greece? How was the transition? Was it what
a
you
little,
expected?
Look, it was a little
Slow.
Yeah, but not because of this. Because I came in the COVID time, so
Yeah.
it was very
I keep
special.
forgetting
Time.
COVID even happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone mentions COVID, they're like, oh, COVID.
Just now, I remember about it now. But yeah, I came in this moment that was very strict and very bad. So first of all, the football was touched by it, and then we play with empty stadium the whole season.
Yeah.
So
That
You can't get a haircut wearing a mask. That was horrible, man.
yeah,
Cutting hair with a mask on.
all day.
That was so bad.
You cut my mask few times, I think.
Maybe it was on
it's okay,
purpose.
keep it. I will not. Okay.
That did happen. But yeah, so moving on
Yeah,
from
so it was not
COVID.
about Cyprus. It was my first impression was rigged because of this. Tricked. I don't know how to say this. You tell me the good word also, but
Rigged. Like you mean, what do you mean?
The first impression of the life in Cyprus, you know, it was just I could not do nothing because everything was closed. Everything was, you know,
Oh, ruined.
ruined
Yeah,
also.
yeah.
This
You had to send an
here's the
SMS
good
to go
one.
for a
Yeah,
walk.
exactly.
I thought you
Yeah.
meant like Cyprus football's rigged. I was like, yeah, that's also true.
Sort of.
I was like, wait, we're exposed. We've been exposed.
No names, no names.
The impression of Cyprus is
Ruined. The accent, guys. It's okay.
so
I was like, shit, we just broke free. Oh, wow.
yeah, so that was a little
Difficult times.
difficult times, and after 1 year only, okay, a few months, but let's say 1 year only, we start to play with fun in stadium. We start to have normal life outside, go here and there, restaurant, bar, and all this. So this I could really now enjoy the life and have an opinion about it. So, like you say, it's a little more calm, but it's the same style of life than Greece. So I was not lost. You know, I don't come from Norway straight to Cyprus. I was in Greece, so
You speak Greek?
I speak a little.
Yeah?
Yes.
Shit. I've definitely said some things in Greek while cutting his hair. If he's understood. Wait, what break?
Take two.
So, yeah. We're going to go into, talk to us a little bit about the championship. 16 years was the last time we won it. I mean,
So it
when I
was-
mean we, I mean as Apollon fans. Incredible. You guys nearly killed us because I think you didn't win a game for like 11 straight games. It was just draws, which wasn't nice. It was a bit of stress. Bit of stress because Apollon's very known for always losing at the last two games. So we believed though. And
That's what before me. Huh?
no, that's true. That is true. I'm not saying it was the haircut, but maybe it was the
That
haircut.
was a part of it. I scored
Yeah,
some
definitely.
goals with the
You
header.
saw some headers. It's the aerodynamics of the fade on the side. Hit me out.
Makes you run faster.
It does, yeah. It does. So, coming into a team and then your second year in that team, winning the championship. Talk to me, man.
That's great. That's great because first of all, it's the first time for me to win also a championship in first division. So I was feeling exactly the same that the Apollon fan feels because
Amazing.
I start
I love
as
that.
a senior team when I was 18, 19. We were champion. I was 33. 1 month after I turned 30,
No, you were 32.
32. I came here. 33.
33, yeah.
No, 34. Championship 34. Just before 34.
Mm.
So for me also it was 15 years, 16 years
Wow.
since I started my career
Wow.
Nice.
and never win a first. Actually,
Why didn't you come sooner?
I knew I had to leave France, but takes time for me to process this. But like I told you, I signed professional when we went from third division to second. So this year we won championship, but was in third division in France. So it was nice, but
I think the same.
It was
You can't
at a
compare.
different level. So, and especially because the previous season, I broke, I make a ACL 2 days before the end of the championship, where we were also fighting for championship. I could not find these last 2 games to win this championship. We lost it with the injury, with this and that. For me, was frustrating first of all, and a hard time. Few months are very hard. So when I came back, and hopefully I could play again, play first 11 again, win games, then win the championship. After all this, this frustration of like 1 year frustration totally, like from the start until the end was frustrating, was like really like a relief. Like a
That's a
relief.
serious injury. I mean, again, that injury at any age is nearly catastrophic for a career.
Yeah, it is less than before also. Once again, because maybe 15, 20 years ago, if you make ACL, it's more, it's harder now, I think. Now we have better surgery, better physio, better recovery. We know more. It's always easier, I think, with time about surgery. But still, it's hard.
For sure.
Still, there is things that don't go as you plan. You didn't expect this. We thought you could do that. Okay, whatever. So it's always hard. And but eventually it went very well, and we lift the trophy. And like you say, the relief for the city, for the fans, great parties, happiness. It was really amazing feeling. This was like a, like the cherry on the cake. Because okay, I have a few years more, but if you don't, you always want to win one championship in your career. I think as a football player, win one cup, maybe it's not the same. You can win one cup, it's not the same. But championship is 1 year of work, and then you have at the end the fruit of this work. It's great feeling. It's amazing.
Because for us, like, especially growing up in Cyprus, that's all we had. All we had was like football, and your team was like your religion, and you'd live and breathe it and follow them, and it's a very big impact on our mood and also on our personal mental health. When Apollon wins a game, I'm happy. Go home chatting to the missus. If we lose, I'm like, don't talk to me. You know what I mean? Like, give me some. I want to order some burgers, just like comfort food myself. But I think you guys have such a big control over thousands of people, and I guess that relies on the pressure as well. But then again, my next kind of topic will be your career is very short-lived, and from one season to the next, you could be a hero to zero to hero. So, how are you able to cope with that from last year being, people being praised, and then from this year hearing certain things? Does that again motivate you to do better, or is it just it's the way it is?
Look, first, like you said, it is the way it is, because it's football. We know from young, we have experienced it in different way. Like you say, for example, we spoke about Aris. You win one game, you're a hero. The next day, you lose one game. Of course, people, they love Aris, they love you, but you're not a hero anymore, and they let you understand. They make you understand that. So through your career, you learn that football, it's one day black, one day white, and so we are ready for that. And when we won the championship, we enjoyed it because people tells us, also the old man, the old guy that won championship for Apollon 20 years ago and all this. Sometimes we meet them and they say, oh yeah, it's great, enjoy it, because it goes fast. Maybe in 2 months, it's finished.
No more pies.
Yeah, it's true. So you know it from before, but it's always a little strange to to experience it, because like you said, last year we were a hero, and after we didn't qualify for Europe, we had the bad start of the season, and then from October we were the worst team in the world. So you pass from hero to worst team in the world, and you have to accept it. It's football. It's just football opinion. Everybody has their opinion. They don't know everything from outside. They see something. They see you lose. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, they only see and judge you on a 90-minute basis.
Or not.
Or not.
Or not. This year, for example, I'm not playing, but you still have to accept the opinion of people. Because they will have their own opinion for why you play, why you don't play. They will find an opinion. Everybody has his own. Opinion, and they think, he play because he's not good. He don't play because he's not good. Sorry, he play because he's good. But football is not only this. It's form, it's injuries, it's
politics.
Coach, it's politics. There's so many things involved in football. I don't speak about Apollon now. I speak about football generally. Sometimes
your mental wellness as well makes a big difference in the pitch. How you are mentally as well.
Of course.
If
Do
you're
you
not
have
feeling well,
Of course.
Do you have psychologists in Apollon?
We don't have, but many teams works with psychology.
I think it's very important, especially in today's world,
yeah.
to be able to have that as an
important.
offering.
I think for the youth that's become now famous, professional with all this social media, now it's even worse than before. Huh? Before they just shot at you in the stadium 20 minutes after the game because you were bad, but then the whole week you don't listen to them, or except if you go to the coffee. But now they can text you and they can tell you how bad you are in half second, you know. So
comment on your pictures and
comment, send message, whatever. You know, it's very easy now for the people to put their frustration.
It's very it's easy access, and I think that does. Look, you know, if someone says my haircut's bad, I'll get upset. That's from one person, let alone 10,000 people messaging you saying like you suck.
Yeah.
Or like, and hearing it on a regular basis. Whether it's like, I'll just ignore it or just shut the phone. You can't because it's constantly in your face.
Yeah, it depends. You have to, like you say, mentally, you have to be ready for that, to accept it, to use it for you to work more and to prove them wrong, or to just to...
In one ear, out the other.
Exactly, sorry. Exactly, you don't even listen because whatever they think will change nothing. You still have to keep going, to do your work, try to do your best.
I think this new generation is going to find it very difficult because we are based on opinions based on screens. And the thing is, I remember like when Justin Bieber, everyone was like going crazy at him because he went nuts. Man, if you gave me that money at his age, I'll be dead or in prison. Like, let's be honest. So it's easy to judge people if you're not in their shoes or their situation, but I feel like we're not really learning from that. And certain things like psychology and mental health is one thing that we are very big on and we would like to touch up on is these things should be offered. I think that should be a standard thing.
Especially for the younger players coming through. So you're used to the pressure, but someone that's 20, 22 years old and they're hearing all these things and they're active on social media because they're part of the generation of social media.
Exactly.
And they see these comments all the time.
It's not easy for them because I see it also with young football player, you know, when especially in the last years, you know, in Harrison, in Apollon, because they had both teams, they had a lot of fans, and the young players, they pay attention to it. Yeah. Because of course, when you're young, like you said, you're more sensitive to this kind of
for sure
comment, and you can see it sometimes on some players how they act, you know, their mood, the mood that they have, you know, even if everything is going well for them, they listen critics, and you see in their mood they are not really happy that, you know, your football.
It'll affect your performance.
Yeah, for sure, it affects your performance. But it's also now, like you say, if you have people that try to help you, psychologist or whatever, mentalist, I don't know which kind of professional can help a young player about this, but they have to learn with this, you know, because they don't have choice. It's like this, that's it. This will be like this, they will be criticized, they will be this, and they have to be formed by a professional to accept it in a way or another one. They have some tricks probably to...
Yeah, it's also learning to deal with it and exercise about it. Okay, cool. So like, again, so that might be the aftermath. So do you have plans after you finish football? Like, if you weren't a footballer, what would you do? And are you going to continue that?
Look, normally we'd ask this to old men, but because I don't feel concerned, I don't think of it, you know, because I have maybe 10 years more football, so I don't think at all about
10 years on FIFA? Or
in 10 years' time,
is this guy for real?
would you want to like continue in the football world, you know, be a coach?
I think you should.
A scout, or would you want to go something totally different?
To be honest, I really don't know, because if I could, I would try to be out of football. My first choice, if I had, let's say, a great idea, good business, some knowledge, whatever, I would choose to go out of football.
That is the most common question answer I get from football players. All the boys that I cut, when I ask them, they always don't want to be in football. Why do you think that is? Is it because you spent your whole life in it and you want to try something different, or is it because, I don't know, it's not the same as if you're not playing?
It's strange because we are passionate about it and we like it, we love it, but also maybe we want also to have normal life. Normal life, let's say, you know, still have maybe some people, they want to have their weekend free. Let's say just this, maybe they make 20 years of football, you have to travel every weekend, and now maybe your kids, they grow, you want to be with them on weekend, you don't want to be, I don't know, it's depends, everybody has...
And close that chapter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
some people it's for other reason, like you don't want to be in the dirty maybe side of football. If you want to be, agent or coach, to have to deal, for example, we're never happy about coach when you are players. Always you have complaint. Even when you like him, you have complaint every day for small things, So let's say to be a coach now, I will have to deal with 30 players that disturb me, to be polite, every day, that they complain to me that this, everybody, then they are happy because they play, the 20 they are not, I will have to deal with it. I don't know if I want that, I could be, I could be. Maybe I will. Maybe more with youth, Maybe with academy it can be interesting, I don't know. But if I find my way, let's say, because I still didn't find something that give me the same passion than football, then I would prefer to go out of football.
Fair enough. If you weren't a footballer, what would you think you'd be?
When I was young, child, still at school, because I'm still very young.
Younger.
I like, architecture and this kind of things, I like to...
Dance.
What?
You say usher?
Usher, that's what I heard.
Architect.
Architect.
Oh, architect.
Architect, yeah.
I thought you meant like usher,
sorry.
like dancing.
I was a very good dancer, but not enough to be a professional.
I've seen you dancing. It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. I've seen you dance too. I have video if somebody wants to see. And I would like to be, maybe architect.
Nice.
Like this.
Designing buildings.
Yeah, not building, maybe more house.
You could do that when you retire from football.
Yeah, it's too late, I think.
I don't want to put it in anything you design.
It's a lot of,
It'll be round.
But it can be a solution, eh?
It's true. That is that. The dome. We've got questions from the audience. Stella, hits up. Louder.
If you could play against any player, past or present, who would it be and why?
If you could play against any player, past or present, who would it be?
Maybe I will say again
Ronaldinho.
Ronaldinho, yes.
If you could take
with
him.
him, not against him. I would play with him, next to him. So we can enjoy together. not against him. No chance.
Okay.
Playing with Ronaldinho, you're just watching him.
That's what I will do. I will just clap and say, maybe
Keep going.
Maybe
Good job, man.
the goal he can give me, so I tap in,
Assist.
What about against? Who would you
Yeah, who would you play against?
enjoy the challenge?
Like a good defender or the goalkeeper, that's why.
Goalkeeper, that's a good one.
Goalkeeper, no. But maybe I would have to, Maldini, this kind of guy, great defender like this.
Nice.
Would be nice, I think.
I don't know who that is.
What?
I don't know who that is.
Maldini.
Yeah.
AC Milan.
yeah.
AC Milan.
This guy don't know nothing.
Yo, question from the audience.
What's the best prank you've ever pulled on another colleague?
Best prank on another colleague.
This is a hard question for me because I'm not too much this kind of guy, to be
Don't
honest.
lie, man.
No.
Don't lie.
No,
Or if you've been pranked
Oh yeah, you can.
from a teammate.
let me think a little about it. But to be honest, it was not so much. We were not inside prank, but for example, let's say the most stupid things we were doing as teammate. When I was in Atromitos, we had this celebration every month about the baddest guy of the team. We had a group of guys, let's say 6-7 foreigners mostly, and every time we were making prank or at each other, and at the end of the month we had trophy like who is the worst guy of the team, and at the end of the year, I didn't win. I was not the worst, but maybe I was second. There was some bad guy around me, and this kind of. I remember, if I can say some name, some Abiola, some Buzulagis, maybe I will send them the link so they can see this. But,
Good.
It was about also on the field, because between us we were trying to be the worst to each other, and on the field also some bad tackling and all this, but not in a bad way, just to.
So when you scored when you were in Aries and you decided to do the celebration of the Aries symbol, was that your idea?
It was mine and my brother. We were speaking about it because now that
Jerome?
exactly.
My guy, shout out Jerome.
because we were speaking like about this, because I never had really celebration or whatever. But when I signed in Addis, big crowd, big fans, great atmosphere, we were like, okay, we have to find something little nice, to be little your signature,
That's a cool aspect, isn't it? Like
the fans
thinking
must have loved
about
that.
what you're gonna do when you score, because it is a big thing. Like you see, like dancers, like a dancer. You see, like football players, like dancing their traditional dance, or they do the like. I think celebrations are now. It is your signature, isn't it? Like if you do this, it's Ronaldo.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm not too much. Normally, I'm not. You see this also in Apollon. I'm not doing this, but. Okay, when I was there, we were like, okay, let's try to do something to mark the people, and to make them happy, because, when I signed in Addis, they came back from four years in third and second division, after some economical problem. So they came back, they came back to life. They were so happy to be here. Oh. And so I make this celebration, like, represent their symbol. So it was for them, they were like so happy, like, somebody represent the god of war like this, and they were like very happy.
That will be a memory for them as well. When they'll hear your name, they think of that celebration. Of those,
probably, especially young kids, I think, because every time people was telling me this. Sometimes they didn't care if I play good. Really,
just celebrate like that, bro.
So sometimes I was like, in the street, like, yeah, Diguiny, how are, maybe I scored yesterday, but they were like, yeah, great celebration 2 weeks ago against because I made it the first game of the season against Lamia, and I scored the first goal of the season that they came back in first division. So it was the first thing they see in the season, Nice. So this was like, and they were telling me this the whole year.
Yeah,
the whole year they spoke to me about this. So I don't know if I had to take it good or bad, because
that's a good thing.
I make a good season and they didn't care. They care about the celebration.
You just have, I think, in this life, I don't know, I think it's about leaving your mark. I think I would like to be remembered for certain things, and I think if you're put down, if you put down history, that's a big thing, and you have been part of like not one, not two, not three, but 4, 5, 6 families, like, because we consider it as being a family. So to be able to be accepted, admired, and then also respected when you have to make your own way, it's a big thing.
It's a big thing, and I agree, because for me, this championship we won, and it's history. You want it or not, people, they will always remember it. And all the kids that now will grow, they were now 10 years old when
I was crying.
They will remember I have also video of this if somebody wants to see. Because I bring that guy to tell to everybody. I bring that guy in the locker room after we won the championship, and he was the only. Yeah, you were the only guys outside of the team. It was my brother, I think. Yeah. It was only players, members of Apollon, and it was you and my brother who was celebrating with us inside
that was a dream.
The locker room.
Yeah, he made my dreams come true. This
the
guy.
Smoke.
Thank you so much once again. That was unbelievable experience.
My pleasure. Nice to see you.
I went through the tunnel in Sirio and like stories. I couldn't. Thank you.
Yeah, it was like you say, memories.
It was.
We never.
It wasn't a memory. It was a dream. It really was. Thank you. I forgot about that. Nah, I'm joking. It was a once in a lifetime experience for me as well. And again, like I'm just a smallest percentage of how you affected people and everyone else in Apollon. Shout out Apollon, of course, for doing something amazing. And I love you guys, man. So if you were an animal, what would you be?
Let's change the topic very fast.
Get emotional.
Let me think very quick.
If you're an animal.
A horse.
A horse?
Not bad, huh?
Jesus.
Oh, a horse is nice.
Why? I mean, if it's the same reason, I'm thinking why.
I don't know. Just I was watching a series on Netflix. There was too many horses. I think that's why. Beautiful animal, no?
Yeah, you're a beautiful guy. Eh? I can see you being a horse. They're gracious.
Yeah. Exactly. So you see, only you don't understand the majestuosity of a horse. Which animal you would like to be?
I chose bumblebee. Oh, do you know how old elephants live to?
I don't know. Tell me which
according to I said bumblebee.
What's that?
What do you mean? A bumblebee. A bumblebee.
A bee. That stings.
A bee.
But why, bro? Why?
Because
you told me an eagle.
No. Watch the first podcast. You'll understand why. I've got a good.
Okay. I'm late.
Go structured answer.
What's yours? What's yours?
Dog, like a wolf, canine.
Best friend of. Okay. Good.
Man's best friend.
Better than bee.
Whoa.
I think so.
Listen, if there was no bees, there'll be no population.
but maybe better. only dogs.
What's this?
So this, I
Yeah,
just
what's that?
pulled it out the side. This is this is basically our chalkboard, so the camera can see, and you'll be the first guest to sign this. Your name, signature, however you want it.
Okay.
So, yeah, we feel very honoured to have you here today.
But I have to leave space on it for other, or should I take all the space?
I mean, it's up to you,
It's
but
up to you, man. You can do it.
it would be nice to leave some space.
Because maybe in the middle, you know, something.
How old were you
Should
when you figured out your autograph?
Should I?
Yeah, did you practice it?
It's difficult. Huh?
Yeah.
Should I draw a horse or something?
Yeah, that'd be cool. This guy's taking the whole chalkboard.
Yeah, bro. It's my choice. You told me to do it.
Just have to buy another one.
I do it.
We cool with the film?
We have a name?
Yeah, do we write what we want?
No, we have a name.
Oh, the Island Project.
Island.
The Island Project.
Okay.
We got recently asked if we were willing to sell the rights of the name. So if you're listening, 100,000.
Yeah.
100,000 for the name.
And you only get Facebook page with that.
Yeah, we're not giving our Instagram or YouTube or Spotify account. But if you want the Facebook.Island Project URL, 100 grand. Well, this is awkward, isn't it? Just let him write down some stuff. We're just sitting there chilling.
Well, I'm the first guest, huh?
Yeah, all right, take your time.
For great or not, my friend. Let me write something. Yeah.
He's writing a poem. So, Mike, how you been, man? You good?
I'm good, man. I'm
Oh
good.
no, it's 2 N?
Huh?
Oh no, it's 2 N? 1 N? Oh no?
I'm dyslexic. I can't spell.
Oh yeah, you're afraid to say, huh?
Nah, I don't know. Honor. H-O-N.
N-O-U-R.
Oh,
1 N, huh?
O-U-R.
You?
You are. Yeah, well, UK is O-U-R, American is O-R.
Really?
But we're British, so.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like colour.
Americanized
oh,
is
that's
like
what they say,
lazy English,
collar.
isn't it?
Collar. I don't know if they say that.
Color. Colors. Vamos to colors.
That's Greek. He's still writing.
Yeah.
What are you going to eat tonight?
I'm going to eat tonight. I might get sandwich from Zuppa.
We have to zoom
Sandwich
it,
from Zappa.
You will have to zoom it, my friend.
Zoom it. You're taking half the board.
Should we show the camera?
Yeah. Flip it round.
Oh, the camera will have to zoom it.
Nice.
You got it?
So they don't know.
He's swearing at me.
He's about to cough.
You see, I'm done, huh? Maybe it's the air condition.
Definitely. Amazing. Let's see. Give me this.
That's sick, man.
Island Project.
Oh
Great honor to show.
To share.
What?
no. To share that postcard.
Well, I can't read it if it's this way.
I told you have to zoom, my friend.
I will read it later. Thanks. Listen, cool. Just to end the show a little bit on a positive vibe, give us like, a little quick rundown of, people that want to be a football player. What?
You start with your British accent
Sorry.
again, my friend.
So to give, all right. So if like people are watching this, young boys, girls, give like 3-4 words of advice on, to not give up on their dreams. What would you recommend?
All right. So you already said to not give up.
That's one.
Okay. For those who want to be football player, you mean? Just keep going. If one door closed, there will be another one that can be open for you, and there is always a chance, always a way. And don't give up, like you said.
Amazing.
But keep always. I would say also keep always 2 cards in your game. If at some point it's not working, you will have another way. Keep going. But also work a second way, because I've seen a lot of friends of mine. Of course, not everybody becomes football players, and they are very happy also now in what they do. They have their second chance, and this is what is good. You don't have to be a football player; you just have to be happy.
Amazing. Just be happy, guys.
Just be great happiness.
Great happiness.
It's great happiness.
Fantastic. You got any questions for us? I feel like we've been asking a lot of questions. Talk to us. Got about a couple of minutes before the wire starts.
You football player too.
Well, I wasn't very good, but I used to. I used to play for RHAPSODY as a kid. That's my family, what we support, and for Aris when I was a teenager, and then I became a teenager and
the life goes also.
Life changed after
This is
that.
a good
Yeah.
thing. You want to give some advice also when you become a teenager, when you go to high school. If you want really to be a football player, try to keep the good path. Try to avoid to go out too much. Try to avoid to
That's
try
true.
to stay focused on football because it's not easy. You play Saturday, Sunday. You cannot go out.
So
True.
don't go out. Don't
Go
drink
but on holiday or after the game.
after the game, and just stay healthy.
Yeah,
Stay healthy for sure. You want a question for me? Because that was just directed to Mike.
because
Obviously, he's not a football player because he's on this side
I see
of the
you too
couch.
Let's say, what's your best memory as an Apollon fan in your short life of young man?
Best memory was probably going to my first ever game of Apollon with my brother and my cousin and my uncle.
How
And
old were you?
just I don't know, 8, 7. I still remember. I don't remember a lot of things because my memory is a bit shit, but I do remember that.
So
and-
it's always start like this, huh?
You never forget your first game.
Yeah.
Never forget your first
Never.
game, and obviously winning the championship, and going down in the changing rooms. I feel like a kid when I say it's like Of course, man. Winning the championship was unbelievable, and I think like I really felt like I was as if I think everyone did that we were part of it. We really were part of it. I didn't miss I think I missed like 2 games last season. I've got to touch on it a little bit. Shout out to everyone who's a Bolton fan. Shout out to everyone who's a football fan. Thank you so much, Nico, for coming down. It's been
My
amazing.
pleasure, guys.
First episode I had on Project.
Thanks, man.
Enjoyed
It's
it.
been amazing.
Unbelievable. And we got an actual legend in the chair. And we're going to play a little outro music for you right now, guys. Thank you so much for listening to us and Nico. Any last words?
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, tell your grandma, hit us up. We're going to be like every 2 weeks posting videos and stuff. If you want us to interview any specific people, leave in the comments. Everyone have a good time, good life, good mental health. And don't forget there's 2 genders. Peace out.